A lot of people, they kind of understand what free range is, but not fully. So why don't you give us your definition, and then we can talk about the ins and outs of it.
Makes sense. I mean, it's not only the people who do not understand. Even the industry itself doesn't understand, or maybe understands but then manipulates because there is no legislation that governs what is free range. So you'll find a farmer who says I'm free range, and you'll find another one who says I'm free range. But when you look at their systems, you find that like, this is definitely not the same. But what free range basically or should mean is that the chicken is not in a cage. It's free to roam. Hence, most of the time, we'll be talking about cage-free instead of free range, because cage-free, it means that there is no cage. But with free range, there is a range that is given for each chicken to maneuver and to move around. So much so, even feeling the blade of the grass underneath its feet outside. So you'll have a shed which can house 20,000 chickens. But this shed only has 6 holes, small holes for the chickens to come out. And you'll find that the majority of those chickens are kept back from going outside by the food that is inside, because they are kept eating 24/7. So it's a very touchy subject, and even the farmers themselves, do not want to use the label free range. There are some who are misusing the label free range, because now that it's not in a cage, then it's free range, but it's not really the case. But they have a lot of time to manipulate that, because there is no legislation that governs them about what exactly is free range.
Why is there no legislation?
I would say the industry is not interested. That will be my sort of guesstimate or educated guess, in a sense that if 95% of the eggs, and I said 7 billion, the 7 billion is laid by 24 million hens. So if these 24 million hens, only less than 500,000 of them are free range, then who should be interested? No one cares. It's only that less than 5% that would push government, that would push the industry, but what impact do they have?
Yeah.
Very little.
So if I go to the grocery store today and want to buy a packet of free range eggs, it doesn't necessarily mean that those chickens are roaming free and have a lot of land to walk and cover.
I would say not a lot of land, but of course we can debate the issue
Right.
of being free and roaming around. What we'll say yes to is the fact that they are not in cages.
Okay.
So they were roaming around freely. Question is, which range were they covering? Were they really going outside? Were they seeing the sun? Were they feeling the grass? Were they pecking the worms for worms and things like? Were they sun dust bathing? Because these are things that are really important to the chicken. Were they doing things that are important to the chicken, or did we just say no cages? There you go. So hence I said earlier that we're really focusing on cage free and not necessarily free range, because that's another debate altogether.